Fight!
Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. Nick here with a beard, and welcome to, or welcome back to the channel. The other day, the Mortal Kombat 1 Definitive Edition was announced and launched, and many people are believing that this is the end of Mortal Kombat 1. Some people are celebrating that the game is done for, and some people are upset that we didn't get a Combat Pack 3. So I want to share some of my points, my tidbits of what this means, how we got to this point here, and what does the future of Mortal Kombat hold. So let's get right into this. First thing to address, is the game done for? Well, if history has proved us anything, it's that if we get a giant, big, definitive, or complete edition at the end of anything, chances are it's the end. I mean, like, look at MKXL, look at the Injustice 2 Legendary Edition, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, Definitive Edition. Chances are that this game is indeed done for. It's including all of the Combat Pack, the Chaos Reigns expansion content. We're getting everything in this bundle, so it would be weird if we got this and then something else came afterwards. Like, if we're getting a giant bundle like this, the game is indeed done. Now, unfortunately, I do think that this is the end of Mortal Kombat 1, so if you're those people who are hoping for more content, I'm sorry, it's done for. There were rumors going out for the longest time that future DLC had been canceled because Chaos Reigns sales were disappointing, which honestly, even looking at its reception, I do see that kind of being the case, with the story being kind of lackluster, the length of it, the odd choice of characters at launch or at the announcement. People really resented Ghostface, Conan, and T-1000, but surprisingly, I thought they were some of the most fun characters who were added into the game, and they really do feel like they're from a completely different Mortal Kombat game. I'd even say like Mortal Kombat 9. Unfortunately, because of the alleged low sales of the DLC, WB probably saw that as like an opportunity of maybe we should just stop, finish up this expansion, and then we can start shifting all of our attention into the new game. I know many people are really starting to pretty much blame NRS at this point, and as I expressed on Twitter, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but NRS do not make the calls when it comes to stuff like this. They are just the people who develop the game. They make the content, they make the story, they do the gameplay and everything, but when it comes to like the business mindset of everything, the future content and how the game will have like its live service support and everything, that is WB's decision. And unfortunately, with what WB Games has been doing for quite some time, the mistreatment of the Suicide Squad game, and the failure of multiverses, they are losing a bunch of money right now, and unfortunately, Mortal Kombat was their only like golden goose at this point. Like the sales of Mortal Kombat 1, just the base copy alone, it was one of the higher sellers. I don't know the exact data or sales numbers, but apparently it's one of the highest selling in the franchise. It's on multiple platforms, and even Ed Boon sharing the player numbers, it still shows that a lot of people had an interest in this game. I know people like to point at the Steam charts, but unfortunately I think fighting games have historically had more of a player base when it comes to console ports, so I think using Steam charts in that regard isn't the best analysis when it comes to something like this. Unfortunately, I do blame a lot of the failure with this game on WB's mishandling, but there are a few things that I do have to say on NRS's end that do disappoint me about Mortal Kombat 1. First off, I just want to talk about my positives and negatives from NRS when it came to Mortal Kombat 1. When it comes to gameplay and roster, I think this is one of the best Mortal Kombat games that NRS has worked on, right alongside MK9. I think the gameplay, the roster are both absolutely wonderful. The fact that there are no weird brand new characters, and the fact that instead they opted to bring back 3D era characters and just completely rework them. Havoc is back, his design is so good, his gameplay is pretty fun. Like, that's so fun that they were able to bring back so many like classic characters that people have been asking for so long. The fact that it's all original characters from Mortal Kombat's history. Like, how cool is that? And on top of it, I thought the gameplay was awesome. Aerial combos are awesome. We don't have any of that weird gimmicky arena interactable stuff from MKX and 11. And it felt like you could do a lot more in this game than you could in Mortal Kombat 11. Some of that could be attributed to the Cameos system, which I'm a little bit mixed on. There's a lot more freedom in this game than there was in 11. 11 honestly felt a little restricted. I'm not saying that 11's a bad game at all. I quite like it. I just think that there's a lot more gameplay freedom in this game, and that's one of my favorite things about Mortal Kombat 1, actually. Now, when it comes to like the more mixed aspects of the game, as I had mentioned, cameos are a hit or miss. I do like that they were able to bring back some of the characters who were probably not like main roster type of characters, and they made them cameos. I know some people were disappointed that some characters were exclusively locked to cameos, or some played as both main roster and cameo. Some people really wanted to see Serena come back, but the fact that she was just relegated to just cameo roster could be a little disappointing, but I still thought it was cool that she was included in some way. Or even characters that people have said that would never be playable on their own, like Motaro. That's cool that he was able to come back as a cameo. And Farah, the fact that we're able to act like as our own Tor with the main roster character, and we can do fun stuff with Farah. And I know that some people were very upset with the fact that data miners and early promotions said that we'd be getting a Johnny Cage cameo, only to change it to Janet, and I really don't mind it, honestly. I know people were very upset. I just think it's okay. It was executed fine. I don't really have an issue with it at all. But I do think if we're going to have cameos in the future of the series, I don't know. That's something I'll have to discuss down the line or think about it. But I think it works well in this, but unfortunately, people really stuck to about a handful of cameos, and many of them were just put to the wayside. And the only reason that people would check out other cameos is after they would do heavy buffs to them or give them new moves, just so they'd be able to like stand out and finally get some usage. But if we're going to get cameos in the next title, I'll feel indifferent. I think it just depends on how the main gameplay works, like the main roster fighters work. But for now, cameos, good idea, okay execution, I would say. And the biggest gripe that I do have with Mortal Kombat 1, actually plenty of gripes. I know it's surprising. I've been called a shill and only saw positives with this game. No, I have plenty of negatives I have to say about this game too. First off, Invasions mode is very disappointing as the only side mode, especially at launch outside of the story. I know many people were kind of miffed that we didn't get the crypt coming into this game, a staple ever since Deadly Alliance. I was upset that it didn't come back, because especially with what they did with Mortal Kombat 11's crypt, I thought that was amazing, and if they were able to like expand it, turn it into like some Shaolin Monks mode for this game, that would have been awesome. However, we didn't get that. We just got Invasions mode, and it got very repetitive very quickly. It was the only way you could get some seasonal rewards, and many of them, after you realize, like after season 1 to 2, they're like the same palettes but just swap. You could have like a burning scorpion, and then you could have like an icy scorpion. Like, you kind of get the vibe. That's all these costumes really are. And if you want to talk about some of the worst costumes in the game, the Season of the Huntress, oh my god, what was that? And I know that my opinion about Invasions has been criticized, where I said that it was very repetitive very quickly, and said that, oh yeah, well, so was the Living Towers in Mortal Kombat 11. But the fact that in Mortal Kombat 11, you were able to do the crypt, which had its own adventure in it, or you could just play online, or have private lobbies, there were more things you could do outside of it. But the fact that it was just only Invasions, and it took until Chaos Reigns for us to get Towers of Time back, that was just unacceptable, I felt. Next, the other thing that I found very disappointing, we never got private lobbies when it came to Mortal Kombat 1. You can do private one-on-one with people, but I've always wanted to do like a fun live stream where I would get a bunch of people from the community or my Discord together. I'd live stream it and just have a bunch of people fight in a tournament. But when I found out that we didn't have the lobbies, something that Mortal Kombat 9, X, and 11 did perfectly, how did they drop the ball and not have it in this? Like, what the hell, guys? Like, oh my goodness, that's like unacceptable. However, I don't think that all of NRS's decisions or development choices were what made us lead to the end of MK1's development. I do think a lot of this is actually WB's fault at this point. I think they have been mistreating the Mortal Kombat IP for so long, and they've also just been mistreating all of their games at this point, to where Mortal Kombat had suffered because of WB's decisions. With the rise of a lot of live service games, WB wanted to join in that conversation as well too, having a big push of live service in games like Multiverses and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Funny that both of those are now shut down or ceased development or getting no more updates. And then they wanted to apply that to Mortal Kombat 1, and I know many people have been bashing NRS for including these live service elements, the timed shops, and all of the microtransactions. And I'm going to tell you right now, that was not NRS's decision. They do not make the shots there. That is all WB. I just want that to be clear that you guys know that. That is not a decision that Ed Boon has wanted to make. So I guess what I can say right there is greed is what killed Mortal Kombat 1. It is also the death nail, I feel, for a lot of FGC related stuff. It really sucks that this greedy aspect that WB is implementing, these shitty tactics, are what is killing my favorite fighting game franchise and my favorite video game franchise of all time. The fact that they're really trying to milk the hell out of this franchise for all of its worth by giving us all of these overpriced shop items, focusing more on how can we make more money instead of caring for the player, is just absolutely sickening, and it's what made me the most upset when it came to Mortal Kombat 1. That alone, WB's WB-ness, is what killed my love for Mortal Kombat 1. It made it so hard to like a lot of things about this game, because I could look at all of the positives with this game, like the fun roster, the fun gameplay, and even when I was playing Invasions and Towers of Time, the fun I was having with it, or even looking at like the wonderful visuals, it's fun. However, when I really look at it, it sucks that everything that's getting in the way of that, the paid fatalities, those seasonal fatalities that were so expensive when it first came out, and it was originally just going to be 1 until we got 3. Like, oh my goodness, like, what are you guys doing? The fact that we are going so backwards when it comes to everything, it's so stupid. It is so dumb, and I think that's what everyone else feels when it comes to Mortal Kombat 1. Everyone hates the fact that WB is killing Mortal Kombat at this point. And honestly, it is no surprise that so many people are saying that NRS needs to kind of solo publish their next game or just try and find a way to depart from WB. Honestly, if they want to prevent being mistreated by just greed and all this, I hate to say this, I think that's the best move to do there at this point. I know I had my fears back in the summer of 2024 when there were rumors because of WB starting to like lose a bunch of money and they were going in debt, that they were selling off a lot of their rights and shutting down a lot of their offices, that there was the rumor that Mortal Kombat was going to be sold off to another publisher, and that terrified me for a little bit because my big fear was Mortal Kombat 1's development was going to shut down, or the fact that it was going to be either mistreated by another publisher. I didn't know what was going to happen. There was a lot of uncertainty at that point, and the fact that it was WB mishandling my favorite franchise, a franchise that I love making content for, and it kind of made it hard to cover content on this game when everyone dislikes it. I kind of got upset when I was trying to come up with content for this game, and it kind of sucked that I wanted to do a bunch of fun stuff like all costumes ranked on this, or trying to do fun stuff with this, and because so many people were disliking the franchise because of MK1, it made it hard to make content. And yeah, that was honestly a real bummer for a while, and I feel like there were many other content creators that feel the same. I just wanted to get my 2 cents out there about the Mortal Kombat 1 situation, my stance on NRS at this point, and how I really feel about WB games. It's just kind of unfortunate that this is what they're doing to my favorite franchise. Now, when it comes to the future of my channel, am I still going to be covering Mortal Kombat content? Yes, I still will be. I will still try and do live streams here and there where I'll be playing all of the Mortal Kombat games, not just focusing on one or one exclusive content. I will say that I am going to be doing all Mortal Kombat finishers re-ranked just to kind of close it, because this is the end of the game. I was a little concerned about doing it because I wasn't sure about a Combat Pack 3, but I want to let you know that all finishers ranked for Mortal Kombat 1. We're getting one last huzzah covering the main roster and cameo fighter fatalities, so that is coming. Along with that, I'm also going to be doing a re-ranking of the Mortal Kombat guest characters, including this game, so I feel like that definitely needs an update. My original video came out 4.5 years ago, so yeah, that really needs an update. And lastly, I have held off doing all the costumes ranked for Mortal Kombat characters for a moment because I didn't know if we were going to be getting any additional costumes following Chaos Reigns, but I am happy to know that it was only just the movie skins and that one Liu Kang costume. So yes, all the costumes ranked is coming back. I am going to be covering Kung Lao, Kenshi, and a few other characters coming down the line. Kenshi, I know many people have been asking for a while, and because Kenshi is my buddy Jeff's favorite character, and because he's getting married soon, consider that your wedding gift, Jeff. I'm going to be doing a video just for you. And yes, people have been talking about other fighting game franchises. Yes, I will be doing more discussions on other fighting games as well too. So I know that Street Fighter 6 Year 2 is wrapping up, so I'm going to be doing a updated video of the Critical Arts ranked, so stay tuned for that. And if there's enough demand for it, I've been debating on wanting to do it, but if you guys want to see Fatal Fury's City of the Wolves Supers, let me know. That's something I want to do. Oh, and I guess while I'm here and talking about content, I did get Rain to do another fun reaction to Mortal Kombat 9's fatalities, which will be coming out on Monday, so stay tuned for that. I hope you guys like it. We'll have some more fun videos like that coming to the channel too. And lastly, I do have a few fun MK discussion videos that I want to do, such as stuff like just my opinions on certain parts of the franchise, or even something like what the next Mortal Kombat game needs to focus on, what the roster should be. I do want to do a build the roster. I brought that up with my Discord folks, so that's something I want to do. And lastly, another thing is just talk about where MK1 went right and wrong and my biggest gripes. Hopefully I can turn that into a fun discussion with some other guests on the channel as well too. Anyway, I just wanted to get my thoughts and opinions about the whole Mortal Kombat 1 situation. It is crazy, I know, but I just want to get my thoughts out there so you guys know what I'm talking about or how I feel about the whole thing. Thank you for all of your continuous support when it comes to me covering anything Mortal Kombat 1. I'm not going anywhere, so I'll be sticking around, still doing Mortal Kombat and fighting game related content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you, and have a great one.
Fight!